Thank you for staying with us. You're watching E Central. Now, in light of the horrific reports of the killings in Benue, several celebrities have used their platform to speak out. Well, we do have all the updates in this package. Watch this. Following the horrific reports of killings in Benue State, Nigerian celebrities, a handful of them, have used their platform to raise awareness and demand for change. Joining us to discuss the state of urgency and our entertainers' role to influence the call for peace is broadcaster and popular content creator Ezugwu Chukwudi, popularly known as Husband Material. Thank you for being a part of the show.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
Let me start by asking how you're feeling. I mean, getting the news, it must have been difficult to hear for just like every other Nigerian. How are you taking it?
It's really very disheartening. I know so many people from Benue State, and just hearing their experience firsthand, it's heartbreaking. I cannot wrap my head around why the government of the day, whether at the state level or at the federal level, have not, addressed these problems. And it's important to point out that it's not just Benue State. In just Plateau, there are issues. You have people who have been complaining for a very long time. Do not forget that, before the protest on Sunday, and when Very Dark Man joined, he had traveled to Jos Plateau and he visited a community ravaged by violence and drew the attention of the public to what those people in the community are dealing with. It's really unfortunate what the situation is. It's heartbreaking because you just cannot understand why in our country people do not feel safe. And rather than address the issues, it would appear like there's politics. The governor seated on a couch making a call or receiving a call from Mr. President talking about, that they would swing into action. And it's heartbreaking. What Nigerians want is to feel safe in their country, to be rest assured that the government of the day and all of the necessary security apparatus will do everything to protect every Nigerian life. It's really disheartening and breaking.
Indeed, what Nigerians want is safety. But I must ask you, are you impressed with the urgency at which Nigerian celebrities rose to call the government out? Or would you say it's been a bit slow? What would you say?
For me, I don't pay mind to celebrities using their platforms and for me to begin to compare whether they acted quickly. Because the truth is, whether celebrities draw public attention to these issues, when you hear the first-hand stories from victims, you just want the government to act and deal with the situation. We don't expect that it is only when people with so many followers discuss these issues that government will swing to action. It's not a situation where government thinks about what is embarrassing or whether it's going to be good PR or bad PR. So I don't look at which celebrities are sharing this news, why are certain people not sharing the news. I want government to swing into action quickly and deal with these problems. The governor is on ground. He's chief security officer of the state, even though certain people will tell you that in principle it might be difficult because the president had to order the Inspector General of Police, or when he spoke on the issue, the Inspector General of Police had to make a trip down to Benue State. So for me, it's not whether people share the news, whether somebody has done a song, whether somebody is talking about it. It's about dealing with the issues. Whether you have 1 million followers, whether you have 100,000 followers, for weeks, we have heard of repeated attacks. Kogi, Ilorin, Enugu, Jos Plateau, different parts of Nigeria. We don't expect that government will swing into action when people begin to share these stories because they don't want anybody to embarrass them. We expect that government will be on top of the situation, whether celebrities share this news or not, and act quickly to save lives, or better yet, to forestall the outbreak of violence. Because it's better that we forestall the outbreak of violence than a knee-jerk approach to trying to tell people sorry, donating relief items to the victims, and then promising that the perpetrators will be brought to book. We don't want you to go through this particular format that we have always witnessed in the country. We want you to act quickly and protect lives. People should be safe in their communities, and we don't have to wait until celebrities begin to share these share posts and call the attention of government before government would act.
Indeed, people want to feel safe, and it is important, for Nigerians. But at the same time, having the news out there by celebrities or by the average man, sharing will, of course, spark more awareness amongst all people. And like you've said, push the government to work. But even if these things are out, it seems like you've said, things are still slowly happening. I want to ask you this. Do you think that we still have a strong voice? Because that's what democracy is, coming together and being able to, stand on one. Do you think even with the celebrities, with the average man posting, talking about this, that Nigerians together, we still have a strong voice and we can demand change to happen as soon as possible?
From the way people have addressed the problems and spoken extensively about it, it is clear that Nigerians are lending their voices, and the government of the day, whether at the state or at the federal level, have heard the voices of Nigerians loud and clear. But when you compare the approach or how the government is addressing the problem, it's very heartbreaking. You wonder if there are not other underlying issues involved in this situation. The governor has spoken about people playing politics with the lives of Benue indigenes. Mr. President has talked about, allowing his schedule to accommodate his trip down to Benue State. We have people saying we are going to go after the perpetrators, who would arrest them, persecute them, who would ensure that people are safe. But it would appear like this approach is one that Nigerians feel public officials just plug and play, so that people would feel, like government is addressing the problem. What we want is to see people on ground. What we want is for Benue people, Plateau people, Ezugwu people, Kogi people, Kwara people, and indeed Nigerians to feel safe in their communities and feel confident that our security operatives are going to always protect them. We don't want to see. I cannot even wrap my head around it. When you begin to talk about who is doing what has been done, how are we going to address these problems? But you are definitely not going to bring back those who have lost their lives. A man lost 20 members of his family. 20 members of his family. What is even disturbing about this situation is that a lot of these people were displaced from their primary communities. And they were seeking refuge in that community. Yet, these marauding terrorists still had access. And for hours, they were able to carry out this dastardly act. It's crazy. Look at the screen. It's crazy.
Let me ask you.
Who go about perpetrating this heinous act is heartbreaking. We expect government to swing to action, deal with the issues, let the people be confident, show empathy, let the people know that you feel their pain. And what is most important, we don't want a situation where you say, oh, we feel your pain, we are sorry, we are going to provide relief items, we are going to provide all the necessary support. We do not want this very grievous incidents to play out any longer. We don't want to come back to this situation after 2 weeks, after 1 month. We don't want it to be a sort of movement on social media before government begins to address the problems.
Hotspot material.
It's important. The primary responsibility of government is the protection of lives and property of the people. So we are not supposed to calling you to carry out your responsibility.
I wish we had more time, because truly we do want to see change happen now and not in a week's time or tomorrow. And I can't but help how it affects the average man, and people overwhelmed by the news. But I want to say thank you for spending time with us on the show. Hopefully we can have you some other time.
Thank you.